All right. Hello. How are you doing? Sometimes you got to have a covering on yourself. You got to cover yourself up. So, the first topic I am talking about is when you are thinking about having a baby. Um, First off, when you're thinking about having a baby, you should think about it. You should really think about it. Are you financially ready for this baby? Are you definitely ready to have a kid? Like you're financially able to afford the child. Bringing a child into this world is a beautiful thing, but it's also could be dangerous. For example, when I brought my kids into the world, they were so both beautiful, but both unexpected. I didn't know that I was pregnant. And so when I had both my children, um, my parents helped me up until, my pops passed away and my mom was not in her mind. She was not in her right mind to help me no more. So as I lived on my own, I started to see it is definitely hard taking care of them. First of all, is this person your partner you're with? Are they really going to help you? Are they really going to be there for you when you need them? Because it takes a jungle to take care of kids. I'm telling you. When you're having kids, you need to really think about it. When you're planning on having it, you need to really think about this decision that you want to make before you have it. So if you really want to have this kid, just know once you make the baby, there's no going back. There's no going back. There's no, okay, I don't want no child no more. No. It's you taking care of the baby. Um, I remember talking to certain people, and they were so shocked about the fact that I had both of my parents. Most people, they take care of kids alone. And so I tell myself, even though I'm taking care of the kid, I came from a two-parent home. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to really think about when you're having a kid, is it something that you really want to do? Or it's just something that you want to think about? And also, if I were you, I would start looking up on, studying about it because babies are really beautiful. But it takes a trooper to really, really want to take care of the kid. It's the difference between making a baby and actually taking care of the child. Um, the babies are so cute up until you're up every morning and every night and the baby's crying. They're so true. They're so beautiful up until the schools start calling you about your child. They're so beautiful up until they get sick. There's so many things that you have to think about when you're having a child. Um, for me, I I have them now. There ain't no going back. I can't even think about it. Time is not your friend, so you can't be like, man, if I can go back, I would have been responsible. I would have been, nah. They here now. And all you can do is try your best to take care of your kid. Now, planning or thinking about it, make sure you're really, really serious about it because once you have this baby, there's no going back. I had so many of my family members. They always wanted babies because, I'm pretty much out of the family besides my other cousin. We're the only ones that had kids. She has one and I have two. But in this, it is not easy. I'm the youngest one that actually had it, but mine was unexpected. But even though it was unexpected, I should have thought about it, because when you're having sex, that's where it comes from. You're going to make a baby eventually. In this, though, make sure you're ready. Be ready for that, because kids are beautiful. There is so many people out here who are dying to have kids, because I could sit here and say, man, I regret it and all this stuff. Well, there's a parent out here that can't even make kids. Or there's someone that can't been having troubles making kids. And they will be dying to have a kid. And I'm sitting here talking about being ungrateful. There's a lot of people that have kids now, and they don't realize there's so many people who love to take their spots because they've been trying to have babies for years. Sometimes when you have kids and people have been trying to make babies for years and can't make it, they really do get kind of jealous of you too. I know me, I didn't realize a lot of people were jealous of me and my children until I said, you want them? But in this though, you have to be ready for that. Be ready, because it takes two people to take care of this baby. The child's gonna have different stages in their life, and sometimes you as a parent, you ain't gonna always have the answers to everything. And you have to understand you need to take a break a little bit, because you're not going to always be the one to help them. It's not going to always be your fault when your child's acting a certain type of way. You have to carry yourself, and the other partner has to too. At the end of the day, once you bring a kid into this world, you have to make sure you're taking care of that baby. You have to really think about this, because I know for me, when I had my babies, I'm glad that I didn't give them up after my dad died. You know what I'm saying? I took them, kept on taking care of them, because after my dad died and my mom split, you would think that I'd be like, I ain't got my mom and daddy no more. I ain't gonna do this now. But that is not how you supposed to do. Mom and daddy didn't have those kids, so at the end of the day, you should have thought about that when you laid down. So the people who are trying to have babies, it's good that you guys are thinking about it before you just have it, because you have to understand how you have to be prepared and realize that it's not going to be about y'all no more either, because the baby is now in the family. And so, yeah, y'all gonna have y'all little time, but when they get toddler age, you gonna be waking up in the middle of the night. You ain't gonna be having your sleep like that. You ain't. Because this baby gonna cry, and the baby gotta be fed. I mean, you gotta think about this. Really, really think about this. Because I think about it all the time. Baby crying all night long. I don't know what's more, the baby crying all night long, or the toddler acting crazy. Either way it goes, they both the same, and it's just hard. But if you really want a baby, make sure you're going to take care of it. Make sure you do whatever you can to be a parent. Because I know for me, I didn't know how to really be one, but I put my footsteps on to be one. I mean, I'm only 23 years old, and I live on my own, and every day is different. I stress on everything, the bills, everything, but I still remain solid as a parent. I still let my kids know that I love them. Every morning is a different morning. Every day is a different day. And you just have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared. my advice for the people who are trying to have kids is to be prepared. We have to be. If you want another baby, you have to be prepared. After my 2 children, I said I didn't want no more. And I was in a relationship with someone for a year, and they wanted a baby with me. But I watched how they were not stable. And then I was looking at them and seeing how they house hopping. You know what I'm saying? And I said, nah, I already got my 2 beautiful babies. I don't need to make any more. And, for me, I don't want no more. And it might really offend someone, too, when I'm trying to go up there and date, because they going to try to say why you don't want no more kids or nothing. But I have too much health issues, and it's just too much for me. I'd rather have my 2 children and keep going. Because you know what? It is not easy. It's not. Me even talking about this, I might even drop a tear, because it's not easy to take care of kids. They look fun, and they make you laugh, and they can put a smile on your face. They do things that, no other could do, and they congratulate you when things get tough. Kids are beautiful, and they are. They are gorgeous. But it's hard. It is not easy to take care of kids. And yet alone, waking up every time, telling them to stop fighting, especially when you're doing it alone, and when you don't have the right person in your life to help you. You don't always have to be a man to help you. Just in general, when everybody bails out on you, you cannot bail out on those kids. When everybody doesn't want to really help you, you gotta do what you have to do to raise them, regardless. And that's just something that you have to think about when you're having a kid. You got to think about it. Every time, for me, I try my best as a mom to take care of my kids and keep on going. And I try my best not to think about my mistakes. I try, but in this, it's really not easy. It's breathtaking, heart aching, because now every little thing your kid do, you get blamed for it. Sometimes you're like, I'm not at the school and they're acting this way, and you get blamed for it. No matter what, you get blamed for the way your child acts. And sometimes you're like, I didn't even do this, and I'm getting blamed for something that my kid did. And yet alone, trying to make sure you get the clothes together, get everything together, doing a whole lot of things by yourself. It's hard. So just make sure, if you are preparing to have a child, make sure you're ready for that. Just make sure you're ready. And make sure that person is going to be with you no matter what. Make sure that they really are going to be with you, and they're not going to leave you behind. Because sometimes it's all beautiful, but then once the baby comes, it's a whole nother level. So just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself first before you even think about planning a baby. Because you have to understand, it's all cute. You guys are sitting here at the hospital and the baby's here, and then weeks later, some be left alone. The rates of single mothers are it is high up. But I still have hopes for two-parent homes. But just remember, single mothers and single dads, having a baby and preparing for it, you have to make sure you two are going to be serious about this baby. Because the last thing you want to do is go up here and have this baby and be left alone. And life force you to just go ahead and do what you got to do. And you can't look back at your past. Because once you create the baby, there's no going back. So just remember that when you're planning on making a child, that you're serious. Be serious about this. Because for me, I just we gonna do this stuff, you know. We gonna do these series. We're not gonna give up. But this is not an easy thing for me. It's not easy, you know. A lot of people, they look at me and they will see me smiling and giggly and everything. But sometimes you have your break moments to where you want to tell people, like, this is not easy. You're scared out of your mind, you know. You're running. You're trying. And sometimes you feel like you are not a good parent. So, in this, I'm going to tell you, from my experience, it was so hard for me to do this alone. Yet alone even having my parents help me, because people made it seem like I was just planning on them. And I just needed help. I think that's the hardest thing to do, is when you need help and people are making it seem like you're just putting your baby out on them and you just need help. And so for me, now that I am completely alone, it took me a minute to accept it, because a lot of people, when my parents were helping me, they were making it seem like, you know, I just dropped the baby off. And that was not the truth. I just had to get to work, you know, and my parents helped me, and we helped each other. And sometimes when you're helping each other, people get offended and they thinking that you're using them, and you're not. You just need the support. And sometimes when you need support, people take it to a whole nother level, and then you're left to do things alone, you know, because they thinking that you use them, and you would never do that. It's the same thing what happened to the child care with me, you know. That's why I'm telling you, if you want to prepare for a baby, just be prepared. Because when I had child care issue problems, that's because my family members thought that I was using my mom. And I would never do that to her. And so my mom and I don't even talk because of it. And I'm just so tired of people thinking because I need them, I need their support, they think I'm using them. So I'm out here just scared. Just scared. So I'm going to tell you, please just be ready. Just be ready. Some of these things that I talk about ain't always easy. It's not. My Quayle the life speaker is really speaking, and she's scared. I'm scared, but I'm going to do this because I know that sometimes in life when you're scared, you have to go for it. And some people are going to ask me things that is going to be hard for me to talk about. This is hard for me. But I know that I can do this because God planted this in me. He planted something in me to share. You know, sometimes God put a little heavens in your heart so that you won't settle. And even though it's hard for me to tell some of my stories, I can't just settle by holding this in because it might really help somebody. And so when I talk about Marquetta the Light Speaker, it's not always going to be me smiling. It's going to be me crying. It's going to be me breaking down. This topic here was hard. This was hard for me because it makes me think about the things that I could have did to avoid this, because I was left in guilt. I felt like I just was an embarrassment to my whole entire family, and they act like I didn't even exist. So it made me feel like I didn't belong. I had a lot of depression problems. I had a lot of stuff going on, but I still fought. I still came out with a smile through the darkness. And I know that I can't go back or look back at what I did, but I know that people need to understand when you are trying to prepare for a baby, you need to make sure that you two are agreeing to take care of the baby together, so that you won't have to raise the baby alone, because it's not easy. It's not. Stuff like this is not easy for me. There's going to be some questions that a lot of people want me to talk about. And sometimes I just have to be prepared. But today, it was just the realest thing. And I'm going to still post this because sometimes it's not going to always be me smiling. I'm not. I'm going to be on here crying. Because it's not easy. This is not easy. Waking up every day and posting these things, and then I have to keep my phone glued to me like this because I don't know if I would be receiving any calls. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff that I had to do, just really keeping myself together alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. It's not easy when you are being lied to and you feel like everybody's against you, and they're not. But when you have kids, they will bring the real out of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And you have to really be strong and make sure when you're having babies, this person is serious about you. And I'm so glad to say, even with me being in a whole year relationship with this man, I didn't get pregnant by him because he was not serious with me. Me finding out that he had a wife, him lying to me, and I still gave him a chance thinking he was going to change, and he did not. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm waiting a whole year. He playing around. He's skipping days. He just doing too much. And I'm thankful that he can just walk off and he didn't leave nothing behind. That's what I'm thankful for. That he can walk off. He can go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to be stuck with nothing. My heart is broken, but God will heal it. When you are a parent, it's different. You are a parent dating. You're not just a single person dating. You are a parent. So, it's a whole lot of things when it comes to the fact is when you are dating in general. You know what I'm saying? And you are planning to have a baby. Even when you are a single parent planning to have a baby with someone else. That is huge. Because once you guys have this baby, you got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? You have to prepare. And make sure you're ready. Me, I wasn't ready to have any more children, and I made sure of it. And many people will come up to me and say, you having another baby, you better not have no more kids. Instead of saying, I'm proud that you don't have any more kids. Or instead of saying, do you ever need help? Remember, you won't be judged regardless. But it's just how you keep on going that matters. And for me, I'm just going to keep on going. You know, not a lot of people support me. But it's better to have a few than have people who pretend to care about you, or have people pretend to love you, or have people keep on treating you like you don't belong. And it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I had a lifestyle, and when I was called to do this was huge. I mean, I would be telling people random stuff, and that's when people were encouraging me to tell my story. They would tell me, go get a blog, man, you're good. So many people would say, man, it'll be cool if you have your TV show and TV series. I'll totally go. It was so many things that encouraged me. At first, I said I was never going to do this because I said, man, I don't need to do this. This ain't going to get me nowhere. But you know what? It doesn't matter if it don't get me nowhere or anything, because you know what? There's somebody out there that might really need the help. And I might really touch somebody's soul. And all these videos were series of Marquela the Life Speaker. I mean, when I went to college, it was hard. I mean, I had kids. So imagine being a single mother. You're having child care issues. Family members left you. Nobody really helped you. How in the world did you make it to college? And I didn't want to get on a computer. I didn't want to sit at home and do it online. I wanted to go to the school building. And I made it. I made it. Because God made a way for me to go. And then yet alone now not having transportation and people asking about it, but then they not helping. So you got to realize once you have a baby, your support system will change. The things that people used to do for you, they no longer do for you. Because they feel like they are disciplining you, but in reality, they just putting you on punishment. They want you to pay for the baby you created out of sin. And that's what happened to me. People wanted me to pay for having a baby out of sin. But that's not of God. I mean, God said sex is a sin and all these things, but also God sees change in me. So I don't think that God will be around here just whipping me in my face because of the fact that I had the baby out of sin. People don't realize when it comes to these things, it is hard. And a lot of people think that, you know, because they see me, they take it a whole nother level. It is not easy. A sin is a sin regardless. And people try to justify that. God's not looking at the sin. He's looking at the change. And I know what God sees in me. He doesn't see what everybody else sees. Everybody's seen the young girl with the baby or the single mother with a baby. But God sees differently. He sees a single person who is working off her life to make sure her and her children make it. She's on bus and she's doing all she can with her 2 children. She's doing more than usual. She's washing clothes on a cart. She's doing things, just trying her best to get by. She gets her little grandma basket and she lists groceries in her home. She does things that a lot of people would be like, oh, no, people just see a perfect girl. Have everybody ever wondered how does she get her groceries in her home? I get a little grandma cart and go get them groceries. A lot of people didn't think about that when they dumped me. I don't get just a lift because it adds up. I do what I can to survive. This stuff ain't easy. All this stuff in my house, I moved on my own. Ain't nobody helped me. I lift some heavy things in here. These crates behind me, I lift this. They were 7. Everything that I'm talking about is things that I literally did on my own. And a lot of people say, well, you're supposed to. Yeah, I'm supposed to, but if you needed help, I would have helped you. God says in his own word, if your neighbor needs help, help them. If you decline my child, I will decline you. A lot of people failed that on me. They declined me because they were so busy looking at the sin. They were so busy in their minds feeling like this is what I deserve. And they would continue to talk about, you got your mama doing all these things. Your mama, da da da. Now she's still the same way. You know? No, I needed support. And I helped my mom. A lot of people will tell you half the story. But me and my mom were Bonnies, and we were close, and we had a great bond. These are her grandbabies. These are not her friends. These are not no babies off the streets. And this what made me sad about my whole entire family, really, is that they didn't really love these kids. They were so busy attacking me, they waste their time attacking me instead of supporting them. And they wonder why the only person I'm talking about is my dad. Because he was the only man that didn't pick and choose when he wanted to help me. And he was the only man that said, he didn't even ask. He didn't say, tell me if you need my help. He moved. This is sad to me when people say, tell me when you need my help. You should already know that I need your help. You know, you should already know that. You should already know that. But in this, guys, make sure you're prepared. I'm getting texts from the teacher again, so in this, remember what I said. Make sure you're prepared for the baby, because you don't want to be raising no kids alone. Thank you for watching Marquela the Light Speaker.